D-Man here, MIW, Mark's Inspirational Wisdom. I'm talking about masculinity today. Masculinity, a lost art in the United States. You could call it an art. It is something that can be learned, but it seems to be something that has been forgotten here. Maybe because we have so many kids being raised by single mothers and absence of fathers in the home. There was a time when the children actually grew up with the family. They worked with the father during the day and they hung around men and they learned manly traits. In the past, there was somewhat what they called the rite of initiation, where they would actually send a boy out into the wild when he was like 12 or 7 or 8. I think the Spartans did. I'm not sure about the ages, but it was sometime before they were 13. And now let's take this teenager thing. This is something that just came about, I think, in the 50s. Before that, we had men and we had young men. We didn't have this adolescent teenager thing. It's almost a way that society or femme-centric motivators, whatever you want to call them, want to keep these children as children or feminize them or whatever it is. But you think about it, from the time we're born, and even more so now than when I was a kid, we are raised by women. The father's usually out of the home. Okay, so we're seeking our mother's approval. Always we're seeking our mother's approval because she mostly spends her time with us. Even if a child now is put in daycare, it's mostly, if not all, ran by women. So they're there and they have to seek the approval of women. Then they go into the school system where they're seeking the approval of women. And what happens, we have a bunch of men who have grown up seeking the approval of women, not being around men enough to know that they don't need the approval of women. And there's not a woman out there that wants a man who seeks her approval. Now, she may say she wants it, but she disrespects that greatly. So what we have is a bunch of men that are actually becoming feminine. What is the solution to this? We need more men to speak to young men, to teach them that it's okay to be a man, it's okay to be masculine. And what does that mean, to be masculine? Well, for one thing, it means to be a man. And how do you be a man? By being around other men who are masculine. It's almost like in society today that there's something wrong, or you're shamed for being masculine, or they call it macho, or a chauvinist even, because you don't want to follow the woman's imperative. Now, I have nothing against women. I love women. I just don't believe that women should be ordering men around in any kind of situation. Of course, if she's the boss, the Queen of England, you have to do that. But you can adhere to these restrictions in the workplace without being an approval seeker or a beta male, as they call it. But this all begins when you're young, because if you grow up, you become programmed to believe that you need the approval of women. For example, if you act like a little boy in school, the teacher's constantly telling you, you need to settle down, don't act like a little boy. They don't say don't act like a little boy, but they're trying to make you act like they want you to act. And a lot of little boys have trouble sitting in school. I mean, I don't know if they have recess like they used to, but boys are very energetic. They want to do things. They're more into creating and building or taking action, as where it's easier for the girls to sit in school and learn. You can't make a boy into a girl, and you can't make a girl into a boy. We just need more men speaking like men to these younger men. I don't want to call them teenagers. I have 5 sons, and of course their mother's gone. She's been gone for over 9 years. Now, their friends, some of them are so feminine in a relationship that they don't know how to say no. And they're always seeking the approval of their girlfriend. 9 times out of 10, the girlfriend ends up sleeping around on him, gets another man, breaks up with the guy, and he can't figure out why this happened. It happened because he's not leading the relationship. A woman looks for a leader in a relationship, and if you don't lead, she'll go find someone who does. But society today frowns on that. Like that's like we should be equal or we should be the same. We're never going to be the same. If women want to frown on masculinity, they need to stop and think. If it wasn't for masculinity, we would not live in this great country today. It's the men that came here and conquered the Indians. The dog started barking, so I had to cut the tape. I don't necessarily like doing that. But back to masculinity. You know, these women try to tell men how they're supposed to act, and it really goes against their nature, especially here in America. It's like they talk like it's bad, as I said before, to be masculine, or they call it macho or chauvinist or whatever it is. It's just actually masculinity. It's being a man. And the problem is when you're raised up in that society, you're influenced by that. I don't watch TV, I don't read the newspaper, I don't really partake in any media, but even I have been influenced by it. In the last few relationships I've been in, I did that. I shared my emotions and different things like that, thinking it was a strength, and that's really not who I am. And I did, and it just doesn't work. The girl loses attraction, and rightably so, because it's just not what women are attracted to. A woman is not attracted to a man who's going to show his emotions. Now, I viewed it as a strength because I didn't give a shit. I'm going to show her how I feel. And if she likes it, she likes it. If she don't, she doesn't. I'll walk, which I did. I walked away from her. But I got more and more disrespected the more open I was, the more I shared myself. And then thus I walked away. But even though I told her I would walk away, it doesn't matter what you say. I knew I could. But when you show your emotions and you open up to someone like that, a woman anyway, she is not going to respect you. She's not going to feel your inner masculine strength. And regardless of what women say, that's what they want. They want a man they can depend on. Because if you're a guy that's showing your emotions and being emotional around them, they don't feel that you're protected. They don't feel your strength. You may be strong, like with myself. I can stand against anyone. You know, as a former pro fighter, I'm still a fucking badass. But when you're acting like that, it does not portray that. I mean, there has been many times through the years where I've protected my woman, but yet I still showed them my emotions. It just doesn't work. Contrary to what popular media, popular feminism, most women will tell you, that does not make a woman attracted to you. And she has to be attracted to you before she's going to want to have sex with you. Now, she may have sex with you if you give her something, but it's going to be transactional sex. She's going to do it to get something, and you don't want that. You want a woman to want you for who you are, for the kind of person you are. And that's not faking anything if you don't show your emotions. A man doesn't need to be emotional. He doesn't need to show his emotions. Take it from somebody who knows. I've lived both sides of the coin. It does not work. So if you think you're going to be open to your woman and connect with her on an emotional level, go ahead and try it, but I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. She's going to be bored with you, she's going to lose interest in you, and you're going to wonder why. Because you've listened to this female imperative and you think that's the way you're supposed to be. But if you really think about it, it goes against your inherent nature. I mean, I remember when I met the last girl I went out with, I was going to meet her and I had two other girls waiting for me. And she liked me and she asked me to be her boyfriend. And I didn't feel right about it. But I went ahead and did it anyway because I felt like she needed me, or I don't really know how to explain it. But for 2 weeks after I agreed to do that, I just didn't feel right. I didn't really feel like that I was doing what I really felt as myself as a man was supposed to do. I've had women before. I've had steady women. I've had a steady girlfriend. I've had a second steady girlfriend. I've had other girls I was sleeping with. And when I was living that lifestyle, none of these women had run around on me. None of them had other men. They loved me. They would wait for me. They would do anything for me. They were loyal to me. Now, in the reverse side, when I was trying to live the way that society or feminism or the feminine prerogative or imperative tells you that you're supposed to live, all these women, there's like 3 or 4 of them, they all run around on me. They all lied to me. They all disrespected me. Now, did I create that reality? No, that's the way the reality is. I participated in it because I believed that was the way it was supposed to be. It just does not work that way. You can't change hundreds of thousands of years of biological evolution inside of a man or a woman's brain. Because in the last, since 1960, since this women's liberation took place, and they want you to think that women and men are equal and they're the same, never going to be the same. But anyway, so if you get into a relationship or you meet someone, be a man. And a man does not open up, share his feelings. He doesn't ask for a transparent relationship. All these things are the woman's job, if you want to put it that way. She's the one that is supposed to be asking about the relationship. She's the one that's supposed to put your relationship with her above all else. You, as a man, are supposed to put your mission and your purpose above everything and before everything. And when you do that, she sees and feels your inner strength, and it makes her more attracted to you, more loyal to you, and you don't have to worry about it. Hope this has been a help to you. Hit the like and subscribe button, and have a great day.